yeah. Campus USA, yeah.
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 80.
The big 80.
80. The big 80.
80.
Milestone.
And folks, I don't think I need to tell you that this is legitimately a very special milestone episode.
Forget about those other milestones.
Yeah, this one in particular. So, basically, right off the bat, this is going to be a little unconventional. Jesse Rice.
As we said, very special.
Yeah, since it's such a special episode. So Jesse Rice, who is a patron.
What's up, Jesse?
What's up, Jesse?
What's up, Jesse? An all-around great guy, has sent us a gift 2 podcasts ago. I was talking about this like great idea I had for a segment in the podcast.
That you dropped the ball.
I didn't do. It was more of just like theory. And it was that we eat Big League Chew on the podcast and like review it, I guess.
And now it's coming to fruition.
And then, yeah, so like a week after that podcast went live, this box showed up on my door and it was a Big League Chew sample pack because I had said, like, I don't know where to find it. I couldn't find it. And so Jesse sent us this. And now I've been like called on it. And I guess we have to eat the Big League Chew.
Take us back to a better time in our lives.
And so
A couple of the packs are pretty solid.
Yeah, because these were in whatever store until Jesse bought them for an unspecified amount of time.
So
And then he bought it.
There it is. Take a mouthful.
My mouth is watering.
it's so chewy.
We need a countdown of when these lose flavor, like how long it takes.
Mom,
I like the little like sugar dust.
go ahead and pack some of that in your lower lip. That's just as good as I remember.
The first blast is quite good.
Very potent.
It's so chewy. Wow. See? Isn't this some next level?
There's some good podcasting right now.
Yeah, pretty solid. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
There it is, folks.
Nailed it.
Big League Chew.
It's still around.
It's still a thing.
Big League Chew has sold more than 800 million pouches
Damn.
and is designated as the Hall of Fame bubblegum by the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum.
We need like a spit bucket or something to like sample. I had originally thought we would like try every flavor.
Are they different flavors?
Oh yeah,
of
dude.
course, bro.
This is wild pitch
This is
watermelon.
ground ball grape.
This is out here original, obviously. What we're currently sampling.
If this wasn't such a horrendous waste of time, I would suggest we eat them all.
Swinging sour apple. Or we could just use that for the next 5 podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sample it.
Every podcast, we're going to sample a new Big League Chew. So that was original.
Tastes like bubble gum.
Pretty good. Yeah. Thanks.
If you've tasted bubble gum, you know exactly
it is pretty
what
good.
we're experiencing right
pretty
now.
solid. All right. Well, we're going to
Spit this
spit
out.
this out and then get some beers and then start the episode. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay. We're back. So we sat there for like 5 minutes chewing that gum.
It was a tough choice.
Yeah. And I have to say, bubblegum's pretty sweet. I don't think I've chewed it in like 20 years.
Yeah, probably about 20
or something.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, we were sitting there like, this is actually pretty fun. So, Carbro's top tip.
Bubblegum.
Like, does anyone out there chew bubblegum?
Probably little kid.
Oh, well,
Actually, I don't even know if kids do it anymore. They still sell it, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I like
I
saw.
buy gum, but I buy
Yeah, this is different from like
Like a Trident.
yeah, this is like bubble gum. Like you're eating it.
I gotta say the beer.
Oh yeah, Big League Chew into Coors Light.
Yeah.
It's a little
weird.
jarring.
Oh, that's a bit of a contrast. It's not bad though. I think this something
There's a little.
You got to cleanse the palate.
Brings out a little
yeah,
something.
there's a little something extra. The two flavors mingling.
when the hops hit the sugar
Yeah,
dust.
yeah. When the Rocky Mountain water hits the hint of fresh cut grass from the Big League Chew. Okay, well, let's see if we can. For the 6 people who are still here,
This is the Car Bros.
Yeah.
this
podcast.
is Car Bros podcast. Okay, so there are some car updates.
It's a major update.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you want to start with what, track day? I guess.
Sure. John can take the wheel on.
What? So it was 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Garrett and I did a track day again. Like not like a full track day, not not the little like autocross
A real
that
big
we've
boy
done sometimes.
Track
Where?
day.
What track was it? I don't even know.
Buttonwillow.
Oh, okay.
CW13.
Yeah. For our first time doing the CW13 configuration, which was fun. So Garrett took his Mustang. I brought the STI.
Did they just build that? Is
No,
that the
there's a
Yeah.
second track that is going to be completed in the next couple months.
Okay.
Oh, are they already building it?
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't
see it.
No, I
like
didn't.
they have it all like graded out, and they just
okay.
haven't paved it yet.
I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. But yeah, so Garrett's brother came, a couple of our friends came, stuff like
cousin
that.
was there.
Yeah, and I mean, it was super fun. Except I was having issues like all day with like oil temperature and like water temperature and so
Various temperatures,
various temperatures, kind of like what like last time, but now worse.
more pronounced.
So I was only able to do like one hot lap every 20-minute session,
Damn.
and so like
And then you would slow down or get off the track?
I would get off the track. And so the first couple sessions I would like stay out there and just try to do like cool down laps and like try to, but it was just frustrating. Like I always felt like I was getting in people's way.
He had to drive his car like it was a very serious,
it was
temperamental race machine.
right. And so literally like the last 3 sessions, it was literally out lap, hot lap, in lap. And so it was like
Damn.
only 5 minutes of the whole 20 minutes. And then the oil temperature was already like bubbling and shit like that.
Meanwhile, I was just tearing it up endlessly.
Yeah. But I was faster.
True.
Damn.
So yeah, it was like time attack style. So yeah, I think my best time was like 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Something like that.
Which isn't bad for my first time doing it. Obviously, if I was able to do multiple hot laps
one
in a
lap.
session,
Sure.
I probably could have done better.
In like
but-
a stock.
Meanwhile, I was
STI.
just lapping as many times as I wanted, driving to and from the track.
exactly, yeah, having a grand old time.
Until your hands had blisters.
But when we went to leave and like load up the STI on the trailer,
On a
I-
trailer while I just
Yeah.
started mine up to drive home.
I fired it up, and this huge plume of white smoke came out the exhaust, and so obviously something's tweaked and stuff. Like
Something's amiss.
something's a little bit missed, but yeah, we're like 99% sure it's head gasket failure.
Oh, you haven't had it. You haven't done any diagnostics.
No, other than I guess we could we took a video of me starting up in my garage,
Oh yeah.
and so we can insert that here.
You're fine. This thing's ready for another track day. There's some smoke. It smelled real bad.
Yeah, it smelled.
I'm sure someone could diagnose.
So based
that.
off of that diagnosis,
There
or
is a
that
test
evidence-
you can do where you look. I only know this because my friend's head gasket just
Yeah,
blew up.
yeah.
That Anna friend
In a suit.
in a Subaru.
in a suit. Yeah, it was also in a Subaru.
Gets you every time.
Yeah.
And apparently, the standard test is you test for hydrocarbon in the coolant.
Yeah.
and that tells you if.
I'm
Like,
like,
basically
I mean,
the head gasket's
all the
fucked.
evidence is there that something's
Yeah, I mean
fucked.
it's probably head gasket.
Especially 'cause, like-
I just like to sprinkle tech tips into the podcast.
right. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the goal is I'll probably rebuild the engine. Just like have someone probably fully rebuild it.
Fully built.
Yeah,
Fully built.
Yeah, like forged internals and all that stuff. Because you have to pull the motor anyways to do head gaskets in a Subaru.
Yeah, and it's just like there's something about the flat 4 motor where it's just like, oh, it's just this cute little thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. Like, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to rebuild it stronger. It's
Yeah, especially if like someone knows what they're doing. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't take that long. It's just expensive. It'll be like 5 G's. So
It's really not.
I mean, for what they're doing, it's not too bad. But
yeah.
it's just a
It's not a good. It's not. It's
It's
an
like a lump
expense you
sum,
would
yeah.
rather not have.
Right.
But it is nice to, at least if you're going to spend that kind of money, it'll come out on the other side stronger.
Yes.
Rather than just fixing the head gaskets and,
then-
spending money to get back to where you were 2
Exactly.
weeks ago, basically.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, because I'm pretty sure the head gasket's been probably has a small crack for many years since
Oh,
I don't
okay.
drive it that much.
Sure.
Which
So
is why I was
slowly been
having
getting worse.
Yeah, which is why I was having like engine temperature issues at the track for the past couple years. But
Yeah, that'll do it.
so yeah, it would be nice to just get to like how Garrett was saying, be able to go to a track and do endless laps reliably. Yeah, I don't want to like go crazy on the build. Just like something that's more reliable.
Just raise the
reliability factor.
Yeah, the ceiling.
Yeah.
But keep the power similar, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Keep
I
everything
have
similar.
all the stuff to go flex fuel, which bumps the power, just putting E85 in it with a turbo motor. But but you know, I'm not going to like do a bigger turbo or anything like that.
Interesting. Don't you need bigger injectors if you do flex fuel?
So I have 1,000cc injectors. I have the flex fuel like
You have them on there?
No. I have.
you just
I
have
haven't.
the
Yeah,
parts.
I bought the whole kit. So I have like
He was waiting for his motor to blow.
exactly.
Yeah, he's been slowly squirreling away parts.
But yeah,
Interesting. Okay, cool. There's also some other news on the other end of the table.
Garrett got a new car, surprisingly.
Well, Garrett, like, we don't talk about every car that Garrett buys and sells because it would be like a used car dealer listing their inventory.
Essentially, yes.
But some of them make the cut, including this one.
Yeah, so I bought I mean, most people aren't fans of them, but I bought a Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah, he went against
A little something car.
he went against the grain.
Yeah.
And bought a 4Runner
It's an 05.
after.
Which that's like what, third or fourth gen?
Fourth is widely considered the best.
Yeah, it's the best year of the best generation is the 05 fourth gen.
SR5.
SR5 V6.
That's the enthusiast.
That's the one everyone likes because it has the shortest steering rack.
So we had the passport for
You still have the
months?
passport?
No, he had.
past tense. And my wife was fine, but she wasn't crazy about driving it to work, just like by herself, driving it to and from work. So we got our old Clarity hybrid back for her to drive. So that's like the sensible car. And then, so we got rid of the passport. So I'm just going to buy like a cheap, I was looking like a Tahoe or something. And then the
22s.
Yeah, well, I'd go 24s if it was a Tahoe. But, but I just saw this thing for sale locally. It's like, all right, I'll go check this out. And it's pretty beat up, but it was cheap and it seems to run good. So, you know, I've just always liked them. It's a cult car. Some people, McCoy apparently said like he's going to make fun of me for it.
Well, I just think it's. I mean,
I've just always
we
liked
have dedicated like episodes to you complaining about Toyota trucks.
Well, I still do. I mean, that's why I probably wasn't going to buy one. But
Yeah, I mean they're good vehicles.
I mean, once you drive it, you just understand what it's all about.
All it took was 5 minutes of ownership for him to finally, not the decades of scientific and anecdotal evidence pointing in that direction from millions of people across the globe. It was him owning it for 5 minutes
I'd be like, it's not
to
bad.
finally
pretty good.
say that it was actually not bad.
It rode a lot better than he thought it was going
for
to.
reasons that he couldn't have seen coming, like the rear window rolls down. It's like basic.
Yeah, all windows down, including the rear window.
I mean,
Just picture yourself just driving with the back window down.
Does it have a sunroof?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, damn.
that's a lot of glass openings.
There's a lot of glass to rattle around. When it
All
goes
the
over
glass
the
in that
road.
vehicle except the windshield rolls down. And like the rear quarter windows.
I just like how it was a couple days after he bought it. He like texted. He's like, "I almost bought another 4Runner today."
Oh yeah,
like
I did. But it was a little sketchy.
right. But just the fact, like, why were you still looking for 4Runners?
I mean,
Can't stop.
it would have been
doesn't-
an upgrade because it was
doesn't
it was a
stop.
V8. But the guy was like, I don't have the title, and it didn't. I
swear it's
wasn't
mine.
gonna go through the trouble
Yeah.
of like potentially coining myself.
Yeah. The thing I think that you can't really convey to people, which is probably what was happening to you, is that the 4Runner is really like there's so much bang for your buck with that vehicle. Like it's so for how expensive it is. It's
you talking
nicer than you would
new or
expect.
just
Just that just as
in
a
general?
product.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds me a lot of like why people like 90s Honda.
Yeah.
Is like, wow, this is like it's stripped down and simple but not cheap.
Right.
You know, it's not like a piece of shit.
And the other thing is there's really nothing, at least now, there's not really anything else like it. Like even though the new one is like pretty like you're really not getting that much for your money.
No, they still feel bare bones.
But it's not like, well, you could just buy this. That's the same thing. I'm like,
yeah,
if you just want the better, like the updated version, just buy that. Like,
but I will say, like, my experience with the newest one is I rented a Grand Cherokee for a long trip,
right.
And then I rented a new 4Runner for a long trip, and like it's such a stark difference how
but that's like unibody versus
I know, but it's everything, all the material, everything about it, and there's similar price point, and it's just
a Grand Cherokee is like a 4Runner that's like halfway to a crossover.
Well, I mean, but even if you did like Highlander versus 4Runner, which are probably similar price points,
right? Well, that's why the
4Runner just feels like 3 generations behind or something, but all
probably because it is
that platform is just like pure reliability, and like functionality, and
like there's something like kind of interesting that comes from its inherent like simpleness.
Yeah, but it's not cheap. That's the thing is like there's one thing where like you get in a car and you're like, this is dumb, like this is so like cheap feeling. The stuff in it can be cheap.
It's not fancy,
like,
but it's not.
Yeah, like everything they did was on purpose. Mm-hmm. It wasn't out of like, well, sorry, like this is shitty and cheap. It's just like this material should be really durable rather than like soft touch, so you can fucking hose it off. It's just like everything makes sense. So yeah, it is a cool product. I will say though, since we are on the topic, if you drive a Land Cruiser, you kind of can't go back to
that's what I've been told by one person.
Because
but I would not spend land, at least not.
They're
right
so
now
expensive, and they're big. It's kind of like the way I think of it now after owning both platforms is the 4Runner is a diet Land Cruiser. It's not the Land Cruiser is not a 4Runner on steroids.
It is quite a bit smaller though.
It is smaller. I'm just saying it's not like they took the 4Runner and then like added cost.
Oh, right.
It's like the Land Cruiser is
not like
essentially
WRX to STI.
Yeah, it's like the Land Cruiser is the product, and then they're like, how do we package this cheaper?
Right. Yeah.
Like, how can we pull cost out of this thing? And so there's nothing where it's like, well, you'd rather have the 4Runner in certain cases. It's just money. It's kind of like Cayman versus 911.
Right.
It's like the only reason you didn't get the 911 is money wise. It doesn't make it a bad product. It's just like after I was driving the Land Cruiser.
There's no going back.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It still has its place. It gets way better mileage. It's way cheaper. The consumables are cheaper. The maintenance is cheaper. It's like it is a money thing. I like them both.
I mean, when you're doing rock crawling like me, you really need that.
Yeah, you need to be able to. Well, that's what I mean. The Land Cruiser is more durable. It's just like everything about it, except it gets shittier mileage, and all the maintenance and stuff is way more expensive.
But all that being said, anyone that buys one of those on Bring a Trailer and like
with a huge markup and
I mean, like the idea of that as like a collector vehicle is still like absurd.
Really? I mean, I don't think they're collecting it. I think they're just getting a low mileage one to drive.
I think so.
That's what I think. I mean, do you at least admit that you can see but not agree with why they would choose those vehicles?
No, because I would still just buy it because you can just go buy one.
Just buy a new one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to spend
that much money,
$25,000 for a 20-year-old truck, buy a new one for $35,000.
The other thing that made me realize, how many miles are on that? 250. When you told me that, it was reminding me about how people, pretty much anytime you buy a car ever and you tell someone the miles and it's like a Japanese car, their response is always like, it's barely broken in.
Yeah, it's just getting started.
These go like 600,000.
Yeah, it's like any number you give them, if it's like 50,000 or 100,000, that's
not bad.
That's just getting broken in.
But I do have to say, I don't know if there's another vehicle like on sale that has as many miles like on average as those things.
People drive the shit out of them. They use
like
those
250,000. Like it is a lot, but like for one of those,
it's true.
It's like a little high. Like
serious.
Like average.
I mean, they legitimately. It's not a meme.
Yeah.
They legitimately last 400,000 or 500,000 miles. But the thing about all these trucks, these Toyota trucks, is like they really last that long, but people still look for them with low miles.
I want a cherry.
Yeah, it's like this thing lasts forever, but I'm looking for one
times more
with
for
120,000.
Yeah.
It's like, do you believe in that or not? Because why are you wasting money?
And then at some point, like the age is like it doesn't matter how many miles on it. Like
it's all about the maintenance, really.
Things are going to age out.
And so, I don't know. I always thought that was funny. Or it was like, why are you trying to buy a nice one? Because these are legendary and they last 500,000 miles.
When someone says like, what do they just mean? Like you don't have to do anything to the motor? Because like obviously you're gonna have to replace a ton of shit.
You have to maintain it still,
right.
But the only things you're going to change generally are maintenance items: belts, spark plugs, coolant, fluids,
CV boots.
Yeah, maybe.
Even then, like
I just feel like any rubber after like 20 years is gonna fucking
rubber stuff. But like the transmission,
and then
the
even
diff,
then,
the
like
engine.
if you do need to fucking like, say you need to rebuild the motor on this, it's like a couple grand.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like, well, we got to rebuild.
Well, that's what they're saying.
We got to rebuild
like,
your Diablo.
Yeah, it just lasts. They last forever because they use high quality parts that just don't really wear out. But yeah, the way to buy those, and most people are doing it out of necessity now, though, is buy higher miles. It's like the market way underappreciates, or it overvalues mileage on that. It's like the whole point is they last a long time.
I think mine was $5,500.
Yeah,
and it seems to run
like with a 4Runner. I would look for one specifically that had between 150 and 200,000.
I think mine
miles.
was cheap just because like it's like the hatch just kind of fucked up.
Even over 200. Honestly, it's like I would even say look for over 200 and just find one that's been like maintained and treated well.
Well, even like you fucking replace everything on it anyways.
The thing is
like the mileage isn't that big of an issue.
I mean that was kind of with mine. It was like, oh, I got so screwed, and then I was kind of looking at it. It's like you kind of can't unless it's the lucky thing for me.
It just left a bad taste in your.
It did, but the lucky thing for me, it had never been in an accident. That's the thing you can't really like.
Yeah,
there's nothing, it's like this thing's been
time.
fucking T-boned, where this is like it had just been driven and it had been dealer maintained.
Right, I was gonna say you had all the records.
It was like, wow, it was actually like a solid vehicle. And so the stuff I replaced was just like bushings and like dumb shit.
I'm gonna replace every bushing.
Yeah, you're gonna go through.
Yeah, that motor's still smooth. The transmission's still smooth as hell. So yeah, they just kind of go forever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard of people, especially with Land Cruisers, they're like, "Oh no, I buy them with like 300,000 miles."
That's a sweet spot.
Yeah, it is the sweet spot. And then I take it to 380.
But I mean, none of them are going to be fucking new. Like, even a low mileage one is still like a 15, 20-year-old car.
Right.
But like, who knows what's really happened to it?
Yeah, you get way more value buying cheap and putting all the money you save.
But the other thing is that I don't know if there's another vehicle. Coin said M5 that like. At least like the 4th gen 4Runner that has like such a discrepancy in price between like a nice one and like a beat. Like mine was cheap, but like I've seen like the same car with nicer with lower mileage for like 12, 13 grand. But
they're pretty bad. I mean, I think it's a combination of extremely common but extremely rare to be nice.
Right.
Because like you said, it's like no one buys a 4Runner to keep it.
Yeah.
It's like why would you buy the vehicle that's shittier than the other products they make?
I polish it
but not use it for,
not dent it all up.
Treat it like it's a truck, which it is. And so those ones definitely get
but even like yours was like your previous one was like high end.
That was nice
of that generation, but like that's you'll see those for like $2,500 that are like
pieces of junk.
yeah.
Like they all kind of look the same. I mean, to untrained.
Well, the big one for that kind of age, and that's why I felt like that one was worth a lot, was the interior. It's like you're not gonna fucking buy brand new from Toyota seat covers, like weather stripping and stuff. And so at that kind of age, I mean, that was like a 20-year-old vehicle. It's like, that's pretty sweet. I mean, that thing was
cheery.
Do you remember riding in that? It was like quiet. There's no wind noise. It felt solid. It felt super nice.
The windshield was immaculate.
Yeah, original windshield. That windshield sucked. Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Toyota. Well, I don't know. I guess my takeaway from that is buy high mileage. Like, you're buying the maintenance record, not the miles.
Right.
Because literally, I bought one of the worst Like it went about as bad as it could, and I can't bring myself to buy a nicer one because it wouldn't be that much nicer.
You're not really getting more out
Yeah,
of it.
like they wear, the interior wears like iron in those things. It's like, just go straight for the high miles because everyone's a little bitch about that. So yeah. Okay.
And for the real Toyota fans, we'll have a special little treat
Yeah.
at the end of
If you make it to the end of this podcast. Okay, moving on. Kia is back.
I did not sign up on this.
Kia is back, people. Well, here's the deal. I turned the corner. I was downtown. I was walking back to my office. I'd popped out to grab some food.
You went down to get a baguette.
Yeah, I was getting a hot dog at the local vendor. And so I turned the corner and I saw what struck me as a high-end, attractive SUV. Yeah. It was like, whoa, like that is like somebody important. Or so, just like.
That's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. Like
It's like
that.
the Secret Service is in town.
Yeah, like that looks like sharp and important. It's just like I saw this thing and I was met with a positive feeling. And it turned out to be a Kia Telluride. That's the Kia one, right?
Yes.
Because frankly, when I wrote this, I thought Hyundai made the Telluride.
They do.
But it's called the Palisade or something.
Yeah, it's like
I
that.
think what I saw was a Telluride. So I was going to say Hyundai is back.
Well, they are the same fucking company.
I think the Telluride's the better one, the better looking one though.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh shit, that one's a Kia.
You felt real bad.
Yeah, so I was like, I actually have to say Kia is back. But I mean,
Where did they ever go then?
okay, look, folks, here's the thing. This thing looks like an amalgamation of every other like successful, they're still being like Kia. I'm not saying they
can't take the Kia out of
yeah, you can take the Kia out of whatever. I don't know how to form that without being offensive. But like, I'm not saying like, oh my God, they went in a direction no one else has gone, and like this is brand new.
They broke the barrier.
Yeah, they didn't break any molds. It's just like, oh wow, they like copied the right combination of like, there's some like Range Rover in there.
Some like Explorer.
Yeah, some like Explorer, and I don't know, but it looks good, and so it sounds like it's actually being other people like it's like a positive, semi hard to find.
I think it's a 2020 Motor Trend SUV of the year.
People
bro.
are paying premium.
Apparently, people are paying premiums for it,
Like
legitimately.
more than MSRP.
Yeah, over MSRP, and so it's like you can't argue with that. The people have spoken.
That's what they want.
Yeah. I like it. It passed my. If you had said, I'm about to show you a Kia Telluride and like give me your impressions, I think that would have tainted the experiment. And so just by like seeing it on the road, I was like, damn, it's impressive.
Good job.
I don't know anything about how they drive or anything, but
Sure, it's fine.
It's fine.
that's enough for me to say they're on my. Well, I would drive
like,
one.
Like Genesis has all that, like all these SUVs and whatever.
Do they? They make
Like
a
the one that
Genesis
Tiger
SUV?
Woods crashed like a couple weeks ago.
I don't.
That's
a
the
month
claim to
ago.
fame.
But I mean, like they're like.
Well, I thought he was a
trying.
Lincoln guy, wasn't he?
Shit.
No, he's Buick. That was,
Oh, that's
that
right,
was a
Buick.
long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
ago, though. No, I don't think he was. It was like the Genesis like golf tournament or something. So he was like
In a.
in one of their fleet vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what
pushing it
I
to
don't know
the
what it's
limits.
called, but like whatever like the Genesis SU, like the G.
It is the GV80.
Yeah.
Wow, they probably shouldn't have copied Infinity when they decided how to brand
Like,
Genesis.
Those look like sort of.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing either.
That's crazy. I didn't know. So Genesis is what Hyundai's like
Luxury.
attempt at
Yeah.
a luxury spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
like-
this looks interesting.
I don't know. I feel like I just don't have room for Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis in my. It might be really narrow-minded to say that, but just I don't know. Like I don't know.
Well, I guess what I'm saying.
I'm just not ready to climb that hill.
I guess what I'm saying is, this is something where I would drive it.
I was gonna say next time you
I
take
I would spend my money on.
Next time you take a cross country road trip, you have to rent a Kia Telluride instead of a Jeep or a.
That's not a bad idea if they rent them.
Rent that GV80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my conclusion is.
But I think my problem with these is that they're not cheap. Maybe like my image of them is still like stuck in the
Telluride's pretty
90s.
cheap,
Well, it's still like, but I mean, it might be cheap compared to its competitors,
but not cheap.
but
as
it's
a
not.
vehicle.
But it's like you're still spending like $42,000 on Hyundai.
Plus dealer markup.
MSRP from 32,190, bro.
Probably for some like like the LX or
The
whatever.
most expensive one is 42.
But I mean, that's probably the same as like a Pilot or something.
Oh, sure. But it's way nicer than a Pilot.
It's about the same as doesn't like a Jeep Grand Cherokee start at like 35, like a V6, like a base V6?
Yeah, I'm thinking a Cherokee.
It's probably a little smaller.
But I just mean like I think I could find room for them if they were
Even cheaper. If it topped out at
if it was like
19,000 or something.
Yeah.
Jeez,
if it was like
bro.
Bolt. If it was like Bolt level.
Yeah, the dealers are giving $25,000 off.
On the hood.
Yeah, they're laying it on the hood.
No, I'm sure they're fine. I don't know.
Yeah, Jeep goes. The Grand Cherokee goes. The Summit is the nicest one, I think, and that's 53.
Yeah, I know they get up there pretty quick.
But they start at 33.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you got bottom of the barrel,
Yeah, which
Laredo,
sure
2-wheel drive or something.
My guess is the entry level Telluride is nicer. It probably has a bunch of standard shit. I don't know. It's not terrible. Where like the what's the 4-door one? The Stinger, is that?
Yeah.
Hyundai.
That's
Kia.
Yeah,
oh
it's Kia.
damn, Kia is back. Well, that like doesn't really look like anything else, and so for me, I'm like, oh, at least like when I see one, no, I wouldn't say like, whoa, it's a Stinger, but like I know what it is.
Yeah, it's distinct.
Yeah, that's like.
Do you remember when Hyundai made the Genesis Coupe?
Yeah.
And people were like, this is a
Mustang
like
killer.
this, like like
This is
they
like-
are in the game.
This is like the new.
and then those things like kind of like fell off quick, and then became like the official car of like 18 by 12 wheels and like some gigantic wing.
Like if you
straight
can't, if
pipes,
you,
like-
it's like a sub G35.
Yeah, it's like if you
So if you can't swing the
can't
used
stretch.
Infinity,
Yeah.
if you can't stretch to $7,500 for an Infinity, then you get the Genesis. I think it had potential, but
that was unrealized.
that segment that they were trying to enter that into, it basically needs to be like a V8 or something. They have to overcompensate so hard to get something noticeable. And like, I don't know. These things look pretty expensive though. I'm kind of looking at them. Somebody still likes them.
The what? Oh,
The Genesis Coupe. Yeah.
Damn, Genesis.
Maybe you'll buy one for
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
5 minutes and then you're like, oh, it's not bad.
It's all right.
Speaking of the Telluride, one of the
Telly.
Yeah, speaking of the Telly, one of the colors that is apparently or like the color to get with those.
If you want to be seen,
Yeah.
If you want to be
downtown-
seen, it's what fox gray. Is that
Oh,
what
I think
it's
it's Wolf Gray.
wolf gray, and so it's this flat gray color,
Off whitish.
off gray.
Damn, Nightfall edition.
It's just like. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. It's non-metallic gray, but that color is so hot right now.
Most cars have it.
It's like basically every car,
Every manufacturer has
at the
that color,
moment
yeah.
you can get in like flat gray, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like,
I think it looks good, but I think it's going to get like dated really quick.
Yeah.
it's gonna be very
What's funny is like the first car that I ever saw this with was a Scion TC.
the flat gray.
Yeah, you remember those? Like they came in
Yeah.
that flat gray.
The Hellcat that we drove, Nathan's
Yeah.
Hellcat for that video is battleship gray,
Destroyer
or
gray,
destroyer
yeah.
gray.
Yeah.
And I remember in person, I was like, "This is sick. This is like
Yeah.
amazing. This is dope."
My parents actually just bought a
Pacifica.
Pacifica.
Is it battleship gray?
They you can get it in in that
Battleship?
color, but no, they got like the whatever cafe white or whatever, like the
It's like a
slightly
cream.
tannish white. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
cream white.
Should have gone battleship.
I know.
Yeah.
With a black hood.
Yeah.
Sport package.
Yeah.
Yeah, stripes.
Brembos.
But yeah, I don't know. I think to me it's like it feels a little bit fatty because it doesn't photograph that well. It's like a pretty boring like photographed color. That's what I noticed about the Hellcats. Like, really gonna buy a Hellcat and like it's not gonna be red or something,
right?
You know. So I don't know. I feel
on like trucks, it looks pretty good. But
yeah,
sports cars are not.
It's just very mute. The whole point is that it's like super muted.
Yeah,
and so I like that on. Like, I feel like that trend was kind of started on like Ferraris and stuff. Isn't that kind of what like Nardo gray is?
Yeah.
Where it's like that's kind of cool when you take something that's so extreme,
and just kind of tone it
in
down
shape, and you put this muted color on it.
Right.
Like that's kind of a statement. But yeah, I don't know about on like a SUV or something. I'm surprised there's no TRD Pro flat gray.
Well, they have that cement color.
Oh, you're right. That is flat gray.
I was gonna say
Pro?
I've seen one. That's
I mean, you can get that on any of them. But
yeah,
you're right. I think it's metallic. Oh no, it's not. There it is. Okay, well,
maybe like a little tinge of metallic.
Yeah.
the thing that sucks is like now, like you literally cannot go a day and not see at least one or two cars out there that's in this color. And so
everybody
in like 10 years, it's going to be like just the new silver,
yeah,
like the new metallic
it's the new,
silver,
like white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty funny. Speaking of new cars, I don't know why we put this on here. I feel like we made fun of this adequately when it came out.
I think it's just because it's a recurring.
It just keeps happening.
Well, you've fallen for it. What, like 2 or 3?
Yeah, where Garrett will be like, "I saw a new Mustang,"
And he's like, it looks
on
sweet.
the street.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. And I'm like, "There's a new Mustang."
And he's like, yeah, bro.
It's like, yeah, the new Mustang. And then I finally remembered that the Mach-E
is a thing.
is actually called the Mustang.
I saw like a white one driving over here, but
A white Mustang.
I couldn't get a picture in time because my light just turned green.
Yeah.
And it was like whatever like the base one is.
The basis.
like looks like it has like 15s.
Yeah. Yeah, the base new Mustang Mach-E. There's a new Stang in town, boys.
Taking the Stang out for the night.
I'm just taking the Stang
I almost
out.
texted to see if you'd fall for it again. Like, damn, I just saw a 21 Stang.
Yeah. The 20. Have you seen the 22 Stang? You seen the changes they made? Yeah.
See the new look?
Yeah, we were kind of joking about like your daughter's boyfriend dropping her off after a date. I don't like that boy in that Mustang. Silently driving away. Yeah, he's got a Mustang. So dumb.
He pulls out his Mustang on weekends.
It's like either they did that because the Mustang is like going electric and they're trying to like pre-soften the blow, or it will just go down as like the dumbest marketing decision. I mean, it kind of works. It kind of forces you to talk about it.
Recognize.
It may like, would people be talking about the Mach-E? Because it's not bad. Like, I like the way that thing looks.
I think it gave him some
There's like some traction.
some press at least.
Yeah, the Mustang lineup has been expanded.
After like 60 something years,
following the tradition of Mustang. Yeah. Anyways, is the fast version of that out yet?
I think it's like coming out soon. It's not. I don't think it's on sale yet.
Oh, that's too bad.
The GT, you mean?
Yeah,
Damn,
it's a GT. Yeah, the
Boss.
the Boss EO2 or whatever. Shelby.
I think you just gave him an idea.
The Shelby Mustang
Boss
Mach-E.
E350 flat plane batteries. Fuck. It's not even a sports car. It doesn't make any sense why they called it a Mustang.
It's the new face.
It's called the Explorer Edge. So Audi is like also trying to like make. The thing is,
They're trying.
it's like I know we talk about EVs a lot, and it's just inherently kind of a boring subject, but it's pretty fun to watch these companies try to like make a splash, and then at the same time, it's like here's the reality: no one wants EVs yet. The demand just isn't there.
Yeah.
Tesla is just this outlier that happened to make such a sexy company that people
And it's
want.
not even real. I don't even know how much of it is even because Tesla is electric.
It's like whatever it is. It's like
it's part of the appeal, but it's not like I need an electric.
yeah, you can't
car.
you can't talk about the EV like
like
car.
Look at fucking GM. Like they're the ones running all the ads about like how like we're all electric, like our electric future, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're 2 fucking electric cars are both like failures.
Yeah, battleship grade Bolt.
Like one of them, they stopped making the Volt, and the other one, the Bolt, they have to give away because
just to meet their quota.
To get the whatever credits.
Yeah, it'd be like McDonald's being like, we're going all in on the fish sandwich. We're phasing out hamburgers.
Yeah, like fish is the
fish. We made one and it did decent. And
two cars that have almost like zero natural demand.
And so if you just accept that the EV market and Tesla are two different entities, you can't look at them as one and say there's demand for EVs. It's like, it's not there. No one wants EVs. And so to watch these companies like Audi and Ford and stuff, I mean, I guess they should be doing it, but it's just funny because it's like, they're like, they have to. But Audi's latest thing, like the e-tron, and now there's like multiple e-trons.
Yeah, it's like now it's like a brand. Like
it's like a brand. It's like a
line.
Like nobody gives a shit.
The same thing.
They're probably giving those things.
Isn't it the
away.
same with the Jag, like the I-Pace?
Yeah,
isn't there like a couple different brands?
Well, everyone fucking.
Someone else.
I don't think there's a company on earth that is not either
tried.
About to release or developing an electric whatever.
It's like a lot of them, like BMW and stuff, like tried and then kind of stopped when they saw the market wasn't there. But then Tesla took off, and so now it's kind of like, well, see, it's happening.
Yeah,
like you're missing out, but like no, it's
got to get some market share.
It's kind of not happening, and so Audi has two slogans for their EV stuff that just like rub me and like
I've not seen these.
Yeah, so one of them is electric is no, hold on. Yeah, I know. So the first one is electric has gone Audi.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, like we're here, people. You've been waiting, and Audi has finally delivered this fucking stillbirth product line.
Can I say really, like Audi is kind of weak.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I saved the better one. Okay. I don't know if these are just like, I don't think this is their whole brand. So electric has gone Audi, and the other one is future is an attitude.
That's it? Future is an attitude?
Future is an attitude, which is like,
what?
Are you just admitting that it's bullshit?
Inclusion is our future.
Future is us pretending it's the future. It doesn't even make sense, but it just reeks of
Please, they're making us do this.
It reeks of like boldness in the face of wild uncertainty, basically. It's like, we know what we're doing, folks.
Look, we're boxed in here, folks.
We've got all in on electric, even though we're looking at the like 2 pixels worth of pie chart that has contributed to our revenue. And like, it doesn't make sense to anyone, but we're doing it, folks. You asked and we delivered. EVs are here. I mean, it's like,
I don't think I've ever seen an e-tron on the road.
Maybe you have. I don't know.
I have it, but they don't look any different.
I've seen I-Paces just because
they're kind of dumb looking.
Well, like our work sometimes, like the local Jag dealers like sends what's it, i-tron. I-Pace.
Yeah, it's the i-tron
to our work, and just had us like do vinyl graphics on the side of it, like a huge Jag logo, and then like a huge I-Pace.
This is electric.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Please. I don't know if like the dealership wants this or like a customer requests it, but probably that's the only way I notice them is because there's a huge fucking sticker on the side of them that says I-Pace.
Damn.
So I'm like, oh, there's an I-Pace.
Yeah, I mean,
the I-Pace is pretty dumb looking.
Yes. So is the e-tron.
Well, the e-tron doesn't look bad. Just
I like the
e-tron just looks like a fucking whatever
attempt.
Q. Whatever.
I mean, both of them just like they fall off on the back end. Like the front ends look good, and then once you get to the rear, it's just like, what the fuck happened here?
Oh, here's another one. The art of moving forward.
There it is.
Wow.
The art.
Look how much they paid.
I was gonna say they probably paid fucking $500,000 to some marketing company for these.
The art of putting our tail between our legs and just developing a bunch of EVs that aren't going to sell.
The art of submitting.
Yeah, the art of submitting. The only one that I feel like, I mean, here's the thing. Here's another take I have, is that these companies are just boning themselves by not going seriously at this. It's like, who would pick a e-tron over a like SQ5 or whatever, the like equivalent, like their gas one is
the
like
idea is they're
better.
Like, if the fucking government is being realistic, they're gonna fucking like, you will have to buy it. You will not be able to buy an SQ5.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
They're just fucking like softening either us or themselves up.
It just feels like they're not making products that at the end of the day they still have.
But I think in a way
in
that
each.
like that's what you're gonna fucking get when that's all you have. Like there is no SQ5, so like take our fucking. We had to build this.
Here it is. Yeah. Here's the mandated.
Here's our like generic shape.
Here's our mandated EV.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how this is going to shake out, but like, you can't really argue with the fact that nobody's buying.
I mean, I
EVs.
fucking like electric cars. I've pretty much owned them for the past 6 years.
Yeah, but you're not going to spend 60 to 70 grand on
and
one.
I've fucking taken advantage of the companies being forced to sell them at a loss.
Yeah, and you're also just kind of like bouncing from ridiculous deal to ridiculous deal because these things are being like pushed off the side of a cargo ship.
And they depreciate like fucking computers.
You know, like they depreciate like outdated computers. Yeah. Okay, so here is a hot take I have that is in line with that. I think the superior, like, I think it's probably a performance car, but maybe all cars in the future that are electric, the throttle and the brake should be on the steering wheel. Yeah. Because the whole reason that they were foot pedals is because those used to be... You were doing
something.
Well, they used to be hard to do. The brakes took so much force, you had to use your leg to stand on it. And like even a throttle cable, like you needed a lot of... tension. Yeah, and so it's like it didn't make sense to have like the throttle cable be this arm thing. But now I'm thinking about it, it's like, this is what you want anyways. It's like for aggressive driving, it's like if it's brake by wire and throttle by... Wire,
now they're both by wire.
Yeah, it's a way more like intuitive.
And wouldn't like every handicapped person be able to?
And I mean,
it would be like, I would think like it would be like triggers, right?
You trigger or something, but I'm just thinking it's like your hands are so
essentially just a dual shock.
Your hands are so dexterous at this point. We've been using mice. It's like our hands are ready to do fine adjustment.
I would like to see just full touch screen.
Well, I was originally thinking it's like
when you're driving yourself.
I was like, man, you could really just do like a dial for the gas and the brake. But I don't know. I think 2 buttons on like 9 and 2, and it's just like
I'm thinking like a F16 joystick and like the hand throttle.
Well, I guess my prediction is I think they're going to they should move gas and brake to your hand. I think your hand should be doing it. It's kind of dumb for your foot. That's just how it's been.
Yeah,
but it's like
that would be a big change in behavior for people.
It'd be big. Yeah, it'd be huge. But I think that's kind of like. But I guess makes sense.
That's the same as like when they invented automatic transmission.
Yeah, it's like you just don't need your feet anymore. They're not. Your feet are not. They're not accurate things.
What was wasn't there was some car? Was it a Tesla? Like something. What the fuck was it? There's some really fucking weird looking steering wheel.
Yeah, the new Teslas have.
Oh, that's right. The way it's just like the
yoke, or whatever. Yeah. Which I don't know. We'll see.
They're kind of trying to go in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised
if any company's going to do it. It's
yeah. Because seriously, if you get rid of the whole pedal box, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's things I'm not thinking of.
The only huge downside I can think of to your idea is like. Have you ever seen like an older generation than us like try to use a controller for play a video game?
All that stuff, all the muscle memory and stuff I agree with. Like it would not be an easy. That's why it's such a controversial take. Because it's like even we wouldn't be able to immediately get into it. But it just made me think it's like, oh, that would be way easier. It should just be some kind of like dial or something. Just like step away from it. I don't know. I think that's where it's headed. No more feet controls. I'm over it.
One of the guys I worked with at Hollywood Video, he was a little person, I guess is the technical term, but like he had to have his, like, he couldn't reach the pedals. So
did he have like extenders, or did he have a?
No, he had
only?
hand controls.
Yeah,
and so like a couple times I rode with him. I was like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's the thing is hand controls in a conventional car probably. They've got to be kind of hard to use because it's like adapted to the previous control. I don't, is the brake like hard?
They just looked like like the column sticks. What
sure.
Like it just looked like that. So he would he would pull the stalks. They would pull like a lever for gas and a lever for brake. So it's kind of like what you're talking about.
Okay, so why I originally thought this is a lot of times on long trips I'll just drive with the cruise control stock. I'll just like pass people by like pushing up.
Like increase speed.
Yeah, I'm just like chilling, and I'll like I'll like increase the speed or turn it down. And I'm like, this is awesome. I can't do heavy braking with it, but you can slow down and stuff with it. And I was like, oh, this makes so much more sense. If you were designing this thing today from the start and you didn't already have the idea of foot pedals.
Well, especially if in their fucking fantasy land, that like you don't even need to drive your car yourself, then they're definitely not going to have.
Yeah, it's just one less thing. Yeah. I mean, they'll probably be around for a while because that's pretty extreme, but I don't know. Okay, moving on.
So I don't know if we brought this up before, maybe not, but like a lot of times someone will have a nice car, an expensive car, not necessarily like a classic or like a rare car or anything. They'll have like whatever, a Camaro or a Mustang or even whatever, a Type R. And then they'll be like, oh, I bought another car. It's like my beater. Yeah. And then they'll have like a truck or something. Yeah. And like part of it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Because like technically that 4Runner that I bought is a beater. Right. Like it's not nice. Yeah. And I have a Mustang that's nicer. Yeah. And isn't really any rarer. Right. But it's like this weird thing where it's like, You own a nice expensive car and then you buy something else because you don't want to.
And you spend all your time.
And you end up spending like 85% of your like behind the wheel time in some piece of shit.
Well, when I originally bought the M5, my garage was 98 Civic and like cherry E39 M5, which is a car that was originally designed to be your everyday car. Right. It was like the whole point was that you could drive it every day. And so I was deep into that paradox where it's like I'm driving this like miserable tin can shit box to not put miles on
but at least
ultimate daily
even
driver.
Then your car was already done depreciating.
Oh, you mean you buy something like newer?
I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, it could be anything.
Sure.
But it just seems weird. Like I have this very nice car.
I have a nice car, but I don't let myself drive it. It's only for special, non-normal driving conditions.
I don't want to be treated. I mean, I guess if you're fucking balling, it doesn't matter. But I have my S class.
Well, now that I have the Lexus, I like driving it. And so I finally have like yourself. It's like this is, and I just like the vehicle. I mean, it's like people actually do collect that. I don't.
It's like even agree with them, but like John has his like theoretically, like a Bolt would be perfect for John compared to his Jeep. Yeah, because like it doesn't use any fucking fuel. You can treat it like shit.
I have like a short commute.
Like you're not, like you'd be able to use it pretty well.
Right.
But it's like then your expensive Jeep that you like is just
sitting there. Yeah,
not drive something that's kind of weak.
Yeah. And when do you use
like
the
my
other
brother?
one?
Like I told him to fucking get a Bolt because like he just because he doesn't want to put miles on his diesel truck. He doesn't have to pay for his gas, so the gas doesn't really matter. But still, like the wear and tear of driving. And he's just like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, I did that for a while.
It's kind of like the spreadsheet.
It really is. Well, the thing for me is like some driving, especially like a commute, is just so meaningless. It's not fun.
Doesn't matter what you're
it's in. Like whatever you're in
is not going to be that.
It's going to be forgettable. Even though like if a car is cool enough, maybe not. It's like I like it no matter what. And so in that case, it's kind of like it'd be like eating fancy food every meal or something. It's like sometimes you just have to eat. Right. It's like you just kind of you need some calories or whatever. But the problem is when your beater is shitty,
like really
shitty,
and which the Civic was for me. And so I remember sometime it's like I would work and then I did grad school at night. And so it was work a full day and then commute through traffic to another city where the college was in this loud, shitty car and then have like a 3-hour class and then be driving home in this loud, shitty car after this long day and just being in this loud, shitty box.
Knowing you have an M5.
Knowing that I have, I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself? So I definitely ran up against that.
Beater paradox.
Yeah, the beater paradox. Well, the thing for me is I still have the M5.
Right.
And it's low miles and like it kind of paid off. Whereas if I had just sold it without ever enjoying it, and just like I stewarded it for, I put 1,000 miles in 10 years for the next owner. So it's a trade-off. I don't know. My thing now is the ultimate beater needs to be depreciated but reliable luxury. So like an old Avalon or like something like that where it's like, or just something where it's like it's not miserable to drive. If you're driving something miserable and you have something cool also in the garage, it's like that one's rough. That one is rough. Okay, so speaking of total piece of shit beaters, the other day I was driving and I saw something that is like kind of rare by today's standards, and that is a first gen Prius.
Isn't this the second episode in a row we've talked about?
Not the first
No,
gen.
we talked about the second gen.
No, I mean the second episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Well, and
We've
they
had
are
some-
related because the previous one we were talking about how the catalytic converter.
Ruined the second gen.
So the second gen I can no longer recommend, and I'm not necessarily recommending the first gen.
Maybe the first gen's better because thieves
People
won't
ignore
recognize
them.
it as a Prius to steal the cat.
Well, the thing I noticed about the first gen Prius is it was kind of ahead of its time because it has that like just cheap, pathetic shitbox look that is pretty popular now. Like
third world.
The like Ford.
It kind of looks like the Echo a little bit.
The Ford C-Max. I was going to say that.
Echo.
Isn't it based off the Echo?
It might be.
Yeah, the Echo is also ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Pathetic little shit.
Being this like, it's just the proportions where the wheels basically look like, it looks like a wagon.
Yeah, it's like the
like
car's kind of like tall and narrow.
Yeah, I mean like a radio flyer where it's like these like toy wheels and then like it looks like a kid, like one of those cars you drive with your feet as a kid. It's like a combination of like 12-inch rims but like big enough for a family of 4 kind of vehicle. And so I don't know, I saw one the other day at a stoplight. I was like, damn, that design has actually aged well because that kind of looks like a modern shit box.
Just blends in.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, like it looked embarrassing when it was new, but now I see that they were onto something. I guess that's my takeaway. It's like, oh, that's kind of the way.
It's very cheap.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of how shit boxes look now.
Yeah, 'cause
everyone else.
It's still like the whatever,
You're-
the
you're-
2014 Cobalt kind of looks the same.
You're talking about like a very specific breed of modern shit.
Yeah, of like pure-
like when you look at a Civic, you're like, no, that is
Yeah, no, Civic is.
when a Civic is like way above you.
Yeah, Civic. This is
like
way below
premium.
Civic level. Civic is like a yacht. Civic's like caviar. No, I'm talking about something where you're like, that's probably a
Like-
big hit in another country.
Mitsubishi Mirage.
Yeah, that's probably like that. Probably has
Just look up Mitsubishi Mirage.
a new one.
The G4.
Mitsubishi Mirage
G4.
G4.
2019. Dang, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
That you're talking,
folks, that's pure Prius.
That's just like a
Prius was a trailblazer in this pathetic shitbox shape.
the G4 is like shitbox. Like
I'm telling you, they just angled off some of the Prius lines. It's like Toyota just nailed it, and they were
like
like,
bigger
"Damn."
grill.
Yeah, they were like, we can't really improve on this.
what?
is
What
just-
would make someone buy that?
How well? The nice thing about cars that are that cheap
Damn.
is like, I bet those tires.
That's okay.
Hold on.
The tires are cheap.
Yeah.
4 new tires is probably like $150.
Okay, so this thing has 165, 65, 14s on it. There's an optional 15, but I'm going to look at the 14-inch. So you can get a set of 4 tires. You can get some Falcon Sinceras. We're looking at like $300
Damn.
for new tires. Okay,
And that's even like from a name brand. Like
that's
Falcon.
like name brand.
What if you got some unicorns?
Yeah.
You can get the Vridistine Quatrack 5s for under 300. But I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to like live modestly, very modestly, $300 for new tires. The brakes are probably like ridiculous.
I like that if you look at the 21 Mirage G4 specifically, they like tried to put like whatever Mitsubishi's like corporate face.
Oh yeah, the grill on it. Yeah,
Damn, that's kind of Evo-ish. It's pretty aggressive. Yeah. Well, anyways, I just thought I would give a credit where it's due to the Toyota designers in the late 90s of the Echo and the first gen Prius. They were really onto something. Okay. And finally, we have a story from high school. I mean, this is a pretty short story.
which I don't think I've heard. I don't think I've heard this. Maybe I'll remember it once it comes back.
Car Bros we've been around for 6 years now.
Yeah. As Car Bros.
Yeah. Car Bros officially
6 years.
has been around.
6 years.
But
this is the 6th year.
The roots of Car Bros go back much further to
like
Street Racing Chronicles,
right? Like 02,
which was like we were in high school. It was basically us making Car Bros grade material. Just
not
as
that
high
Car
schoolers.
Bros is not just still us.
That's what I mean. Like that was
the same thing.
It was Car Bros before the Car Bros name.
Yeah, before the corporate.
I think that the actual genesis of basically everything that started with the Street Racing Chronicles and led into Car Bros and whatever we're doing today started with when we honestly don't even know if we were driving it when this happened.
I remember being in the turn lane driving.
Really, we were I can't remember if we were driving or like walking somewhere or standing on a corner watching.
I feel like we were in a car, but I would also buy we're on the sidewalk.
And there's also a chance that we weren't even driving. Like it could have been like my dad driving or something.
Oh, I think if we were in a car, we were driving.
All right. Well, either way, we were very young. We were like still in high school,
right?
And either had just started driving,
right,
or we're not driving yet,
right?
And we were at an intersection. I can't remember. Was it like a cruise night? Or was it just a random?
Yeah, I think it was just random. I think we were just like going somewhere.
So there was it was a third generation Camaro.
Yes,
which at the time was
that part I agree
was only
with.
like 10 years old.
Yeah, it was
still kind of cool.
It was at that phase where it's like that's kind of old and shitty.
Yeah, and like but there's still like a fair amount of people driving them around.
Yeah, it's like it hasn't because now they're cool.
This is in like,
now they're old enough where they're cool.
This is in like 2000 or 2001.
Yeah, at this point it was like, oh, it's the older one.
Yeah, it's like he's driving.
But like people are still into
like
it.
he's driving one of those old 80s Camaros.
Yeah.
So the guy makes a U-turn, and like as he's like at full apex, whatever of the U-turn, like his T-top
slides out.
Slides off into the street.
Yeah. No, here's how I remember it. It was that, but he was trying to make the yellow on a left turn.
So he was.
It was a wide left turn.
So he was like,
and so he came in pretty hot to make it. And the T-top, it was either not latched or the force of this turn unlatched
Flex the body.
Yeah, the passenger side T-top just slips off effortlessly and goes gliding across the intersection, scraping along like a surfboard, just through the intersection.
And then he obviously stopped.
And then he stopped to like go get his road rashed.
Yeah.
Just it's like throwing a plastic fast food tray across the ground. In this like kind of shitty Camaro. Well, you think that like started what?
That started us like laughing at people
and started us making fun of people in cars.
Yeah,
it could have been.
I feel like that had to have been before Street Racing Chronicles.
I think so. I think we hadn't made it yet. I do remember just kind of like chilling, and then it happened. And it's a pretty strong memory, so maybe it was pretty bizarre that it happened. But yeah, I remember that too. I think about that guy.
Wonder what he's doing now.
Pretty often, because I kind of remember just the feeling of it was like he felt pretty cool, like before, like it was like a pretty cool car, and he was like, I'm gonna make this light because this thing's pretty fast.
And he was like, the funniest thing is that like in his mind, he was probably like, fuck, I hope no one saw that.
Yeah.
When the reality is
like everyone saw it.
Well, maybe no one else even fucking saw it, but like we saw it.
It spawned.
And you're talking about it like 25 years.
20 fucking years later, this dude, he probably didn't remember it happening. It was a minor part of his day. He was on his way to some like court
What if
case.
that was just like a regular occurrence for him?
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, maybe it was.
it's like, I want to make the light, but I know the T-top's going to come off.
going.
He's like holding it with one hand. Yeah. T-tops are sweet. There's like no car currently with T-tops, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think. It's like a big deal.
T-top.
You're like, all right, let's take them off. And like the Targa top is bad enough. I guess they're both bad, but for some reason T-tops seem even worse because like there's two of them. You have to like do the procedure twice, and then I don't know. Both of those things, it's like, okay, do we want them off? Because if they're off, they're like off for a while.
It's also funny, like pretty much every car that had T-tops, like nobody wants the T-top version. Like,
no,
if there's a slick top,
it's way more desirable. It's like infinitely more desirable. I think that's a part of the reason the twin turbo Zs never took off and crazy. Because they're all T-top.
Yeah.
All of the twin turbo ones.
The Supra was the same way, right? Not with Targa, but they weren't all. Were they all Targa?
No, you could get a slick top. Many of them were Targa.
Yeah.
But it was an
Including the one
option.
in Fast and Furious.
I don't think you could get a Z that was slick top, even.
Oh, really?
Option.
Yeah.
Not twin turbo.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All the twin turbos were. Yeah,
Just came with the territory.
it was standard. Yeah, like all the M5s have sunroofs. It's kind of weak. Sunroof's not bad though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I kind of want to build like a slick top Z and just put all the twin turbo shit in. Like they're assholes. T-tops. What were you thinking on every one of them? The leakiest, dumbest. It's just like infinite leak points. They probably leak from the factory.
Man, when you said fast food, like plastic tray, it reminded me of another story. Were you guys there when, I don't remember who was there, but I have a vivid memory of we took two like plastic trays from like Burger King and we duct taped a pair of shoes to them. And then like someone put them on and like held onto the back of the Prelude.
Good Lord.
I kind of remember this.
I do not remember.
And we just like
that.
drove around my neighborhood for like a block, I think.
Yeah,
just,
that
like,
might have been
skated.
like Peter and John and.
Yeah, I can't remember who. I can't remember who put on the shoes, but
people used to always just put the trays underneath the tires.
Underneath the tires, yeah, but
Slide around.
yeah.
Back in our day. Damn.
Back when youths were youths.
Nostalgia. Well, okay. And finally,